Hey guys, we're cooking Memphis Style barbecue pulled pork nachos. Stick around and I'm going to show you how I do it. All right guys, the first thing we done was get our Prairie Fresh prime butt out of the pack and dry it off. You know it's not going to need a lot of trimming when I go around this thing. And I don't really feel anything. Now there's a little bit of, on this butt here, a little bit of fat right here that I feel is a little thick. And that may be a gland in there. Yeah, just a little bit. I'm gonna go right there, yep, pop that out. Right there. And honestly guys, I think I'm gonna leave this thing alone. Well, maybe get a little bit more right here. Down there, that's it. Now, I'm gonna leave that thing alone. The only thing I'm gonna do is now take a little bit of mustard. I'm gonna coat it down. I'm gonna be rubbing it down in my hot barbecue rub. We're keeping these barbecue nachos today really simple. They're gonna blow your mind. Let's get some mustard and some rub on this thing. Now, once we get it coated down in mustard, we're gonna turn it back over to the back side. Pop our hot rub open and get to seasoning. Now our hot rub here is just honestly, it's got a little bit of pepper in it, a little bit of heat, but it finishes off really smooth. It's not gonna be hot on your palate at all when you cook this pulled pork. It's just gonna create a nice, flavorful bark, just what you're looking for barbecue nachos. Now, we're gonna be cooking this thing today between 275 and 300 degrees on our Deep South Mailbox. Now you know that's direct heat on that thing, so you really have to watch it. This pulled pork's gonna cook fast, and what I mean by that, probably 3 hours in to 3.5 hours in, this butt's gonna get wrapped in nothing but some vinegar sauce, and after that we're gonna let it go till it gets probe tender, about 203 to 205 degrees, and we're gonna let it rest. So let's get it rest away seasoned and we'll get it on our Deep South. All right, let's let it rest, fire it up. All right, our Boston butt for our pulled pork nachos on our Deep South, you can see it's crusted up. I flipped it at the 2-hour mark, and look at that butt. It is beautiful. My God, that's gorgeous in color. Let's get over here to the table and get it wrapped up. Right now, sitting at 155 degrees. All right guys, we've got our butt off of our Deep South smoker mailbox, and the color, like I said, is incredible. Only thing I'm gonna do, take a little bit of my old trusty Tangy vinegar barbecue sauce and wrap her up. I'm gonna pour this all over. Some people ask me, why do you use your vinegar sauce on it? I honestly just love, it's a thin liquid based sauce, and so wrapping this butt up in it, and it will just give it some traditional flavors that I was used to eating when I was a child. Please try anything you like. You can wrap with butter, brown sugar, honey. You can wrap with butter bath. You can wrap with straight apple juice and brown sugar. Make it your own, do your own thing. You don't have to wrap with anything, just wrap the butt up. It's completely up to you. See, I got my foil doubled over. Roll this up around the edges here. Now we're gonna get this back on our Deep South mailbox. We're gonna let it go to about 203, 204 and start checking it. We're gonna get our chef's alarm in it, get it set. Let's get it back over to the pit. We've only got about 2 hours left to go. All right guys, our Boston butt for our barbecue nachos is done on our Deep South mailbox here. Our thing is hitting 205 degrees. I checked it with a thermopin, and I can tell you, we are where we need to be as far as tenderness goes. I'm gonna set this butt in a pan, get it in my Yeti cooler to rest. All right guys, our Boston butt has rested that we cooked on our Deep South mailbox to make these nachos with. So just to recap, I seasoned with just my hot rub. I wrapped it up once I pulled it off my vinegar sauce. After the first 2 hours, since that's a direct cooker, I flipped that butt over and let it go 2 more hours for a total cook time of 4 hours before I wrapped it. And then it stayed wrapped in a foil for honestly 3 hours because it's such a huge butt. This is about a 10.5 or 11 pound butt. We had a total cook time of a tad, almost to 8 hours, but it wasn't. And you know, with that direct heat, it's gonna cook a little bit different. The cooker did run between 250 and it did get up to 275, 285 a few times, but that direct heat just cooks a lot different. So you can basically make any kind of pulled pork you want to, any recipe on any cooker to make for your nachos. So let's get it over here to the board and get it pulled on our sheet pan. You can see that bone comes right out. This thing's a little warm. This thing smells incredible. And get right in here and look at that. Get in here and take some of that fat off of there before you go to shredding these pieces out right here. Oh yeah. Get some more of that fat. Now you just want to pick through this butt, get your fat out, and keep shredding it. All right, guys, we're gonna make our barbecue nachos. This is the way I do it. Do it any way you want to. We fixed them up fancy before, but these are just genuine Memphis style barbecue nachos. What we've got a little bit of cheese dip thinned down. I'm gonna pour on my chips here just a little bit on that bottom here. Now, once I do a little bit of that, I'm gonna come back with a little bit of pork here. Stack it around there. You want to make sure you always get enough pork on it, because this is going to be a crowd pleaser. You're going to pass it around. And what we do, we make several of these trays when we're having a game at the house here. We make 4 or 5 and place them around. Everybody seems to love barbecue nachos. Now, I'm gonna take and drizzle just a little more of my cheese sauce over my pulled pork a little bit. Now, once I'm done with that, I'm gonna come back with a little bit of my sweet barbecue rub, because I love the way it tastes on barbecue nachos. See, dust a little bit of that on there. Then I'm gonna come back with a little bit of my sweet barbecue sauce, a little bit of drizzle. And once we do that, we always want to put a good dollop of sour cream in the middle. Some people like sour cream, some people don't. And then we're going to take some jalapenos and throw around our platter. And we're going to be about ready to try this. That is my style of Memphis barbecue nachos. There's only one thing left to do that we've got our barbecue pulled pork nachos built, and that's try some of them. So let me get in here and get one. And you know I gotta go in for a little bit of that sour cream on there. I know I'm probably wearing this. If you guys like barbecue nachos, you seriously need to give this recipe a try. It's simple, it's easy, it's a crowd pleaser, and football fans love it. If you like what we're doing on the channel, be sure to like, subscribe, follow along with your friends. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and of course, YouTube. I'll see you next week with another video.